Hello, and in today's video we will be testing free-to-play Tighnari. We'll make two builds, one of them with 4-star weapons and 4-star supports, and second with my best supports in 5-star weapons, and we'll put them in damage competition. How big difference free-to-play Tighnari have? Let's find out. Tighnari, and I think Tighnari is the best DPS standard character in the game right now, and a lot of my viewers is Tighnari mains. And this is understandable because one of my most popular videos is about Tighnari. And because of this, sometimes I'm seeing people complaining about the damage that they deal with their Tighnari. And what about me? When I got Tighnari, I already had 5-star weapon Skyward Harp on him. And really good supports Raiden, Nahida and Zhongli. And today I want to witness free-to-play Tighnari pain. So we will use only 4-star weapons and only 4-star supports. And we'll compare damage with the best Tighnari supports. So we'll test how big gap between free-to-play and well-invested Tighnari. And before we go further, let's see at my Tighnari build. For artifacts, of course, we'll be using Wanderer's Troop, best set for Tighnari, his Constellation 0, and with the talents H, H and H. Stats and weapons we'll see later. Weapon difference. Yes, we're starting with the base Tighnari and the main difference will be the weapons. For free-to-play variant we will be using Slingshot. Yes, this weapon is a 3-star, but as we tested before, this weapon works surprisingly good on Tighnari. We have really high crit rate and 60% damage increase for the charge shot. And with Slingshot we'll be using attack sense. It's because I don't have any elemental mastery sense. If I had, I would use elemental mastery with Slingshot. And now we can look at the stats. We have 1500 attack, 143 elemental mastery, and 179 crit ratio. I know it's not balanced, but we need to do this, you'll understand later. And now for the damage test. So please stand up. Using Tighnari skill. And the base shot 7700, additional shot 2500. And now for the burst. First wave 3200 and the second wave 3900. We will calculate everything in the end. And now for the pay-to-play variant, we will be using Skyward Harp. And this weapon has almost twice more base attack. We have crit rate substat but it's 10% lower, but we have 20% damage in the substat. So basically we have same amount of crit on these weapons, but the physical passive is almost useless and not adding much. And right now we need to compensate lower crit rate on Skyward Harp. So we'll switch sense with crit damage for the ones with the crit rate. And now we can look at our stats. We have 2100 attack, 141 elemental mastery, and 186 crit ratio. And now for the damage test. So please stand up. Using Tighnari skill, HT 700, additional shots 3800. And now for the burst. First wave 4600, second wave 5600. And the damage is obviously higher, but let's calculate how much. With Slingshot we made 18k with the charge. With Skyward we made 24k. Total for the free charge shot was 54k. And 72k with the Harp. 43k for the Sling burst. And 61k for the Harp burst. And total damage for the Sling is 97k. And 134 for the Skyward Harp. And the damage difference is really huge right now. But let's start build the team. Electra support. Yes, we'll have difference in Electra applicator too. For the free-to-play, the best variants will be Cookie or Fischl, because they have good uptime and 0 energy requirements. And I would go with Fischl. I've seen in comments when people were saying that Fischl doesn't work with spread, but this is not true. She's working with spread perfectly fine. The problem is Tighnari. I don't have right answer how Fischl work with Tighnari skills right now, but I think in the future I will make update on this topic. And what Fischl will be using? We'll be using full sub DPS Fischl. For the weapon she'll have Stringless R3, Artifacts Full Thundering Fury, Constellation 0, Talents 2 H and H. For the stats 1800 attack, 203 elemental mastery, 50 H, 154 crit ratio. Now let's see how much damage we'll be dealing with the free-to-play Tighnari but with the reactions. Starting with Fischl, Tighnari skill, 19k. And 11k spread with additional shots, using Tighnari burst, and 10k spreads with the burst hits. Damage definitely improved, so let's go for the good invested Tighnari. And previously with him I was used Raiden as Electra applicator. She has really long uptime on her skill, And because of this she was really good support for Tighnari. But right now I have Yae Miko, and I think Yae Miko is the best Tighnari support. And as Fischl we will use her as a sub DPS, and I have really cracked Yae Miko. For the weapon she's using Kagura R2. For the artifacts Double Thundering Fury Double Wanderer, Constellation 0, talents 2HH, stats 1800 attack, 152 elemental mastery, and crit ratio is 70-244. That's just insane. And now let's add the damage. Alright, starting with the Yae Miko totems, using Tighnari's skill, Tighnari charge shot, 17k. Alright, we're doing less damage with our charge shot, but other shots are definitely doing more damage. So let's put everything together. With Link our charge shot made 30 HK in total, with Harp 41k. All 3 shots with Link made 114k, with Harp 123k. Burst 72k versus 89k, and total damage for Slingshot 186k, and for the Harp 212. And with reactions damage difference is not that high, because Sling can amplify reactions. But we are going further. Second Dendra character. Yes, we need Deepwood Memories user, and the best characters for this set are Dendra characters, and for the free-to-play variant any Dendra support can work. Dendra Traveler, Kolei, YaoYao or Kirara. And I think the best variant would be Kirara, but there is a problem. I don't farm HP artifacts on Deepwood Memories, and right now I cannot use Kirara with this set. That's why we will go with YaoYao. And my YaoYao is built as a sub DPS. For the weapon we're using Favonius, artifacts of course Deepwood Memories. She is Constellation 6, but her main constellation for this team is Constellation 1, because of 15% Dendra damage bonus. Talents through 1111, and for the stats we have 1500 attack, 93 elemental mastery, 65 120 crit ratio. And of course she will give us Dendro resonance. So let's see how much damage we will be dealing right now. So starting with YaoYao skill, Fischl summoning Oz, Tighnari skill, charge shot 27k and 11k spreads with additional shots, Tighnari's burst and 17k spreads with the burst. Damage significantly increased with the second Dendra character. Now let's go for the pay-to-play Tighnari. And of course, our second Dendra character will be Nahida, most broken Dendra support in the game. We have her signature weapon, which gives us 40 elemental mastery buff, artifacts full elemental mastery Deepwood Memories, Constellation 2 for defense decrease, talents H10H, stats 1200 attack, 100 elemental mastery, and crit ratio 40-101. And of course she will give us 250 elemental mastery and Dendro resonance. So let's see at crack damage. Starting with Nahida's skill, Nahida's burst, Yae Miko totems, Tighnari skill, charge shot 35k and 27k spread for additional shots, Tighnari's burst, and 25-27k spreads with the burst. Damage just insane. But how much it higher, let's calculate everything. Free to play Tighnari made 54k with charge shot, and pay to play made 80k with charge shot. All 3 shots made 164k against 142k. Sling burst made 105k and Harp 171k. Total damage for the free to play 169k and pay to play 414k. That's just insane difference. Nahida made just insane gap between them. But this is not over. Last teammate. And for the free to play variant I wanted to add another Electro character, because Fischl at 0 sometimes doesn't have enough AoE. And for the variants we can use Sarah, we can use Beidou, and we even can use Sucrose with Electro infused burst. But I want to go with one of my favorites, Lisa, and we're going full sub DPS Lisa. For the weapon she will be using Vitsi, artifacts full emblem, Constellation 5, yes it's not so free to play but I cannot deactivate them, talents Night 12 11, stats 1100 attack, 165 elemental mastery, 64 196 crit ratio. She will give us 15% defense decrease and electro resonance. So let's see at the damage. Starting with Lisa's burst, YaoYao skill, Fischl skill, Tighnari skill, and charge shot 29k and 23k additional shot spreads. And now burst 18k spreads. Yes, our damage doesn't rise really high, but we've got strong sub DPS in the team. So let's finish him and let's go for the pay to play. In pay-to-play we need to cover defensive role, and with both characters I love to use shielders. And of course the best variant would be Zhongli. He will allow us not dodging and purely focus on DPS. For the weapon he'll be using Favonius, Artifacts Tenacity, Constellation 0, Talents H 10 and 10. And most important stat is 40k HP. And of course 20% all elemental resistance decrease. And now let's add the damage. Starting with Zhongli shield, Nahida skill, Nahida's burst, Yae Miko placing totems, Tighnari skill, first charge 35, 35, 30h. And the burst 30k spread. Yet with Zhongli damage is increased, but sometimes we are not activating his buffs. So let's put everything together. Right now we'll not calculate damage because the main value that Lisa provides to the team is her personal damage. But as you can see, pay to play was way faster. And we need to use another measuring tool. Because we wasn't calculate all the teammates' damage, so in the next part of the video we will be measuring time. At this point this will be more reliant. Real DPS check. Previously we wasn't used optimized rotations, we wasn't calculating sub DPS damage, and we was purely focusing on Tighnari's damage. That's why right now we are going to the Spiral Abyss. First I thought that we'll go against Consecrated Beasts, but pay to play has unfair advantage by having a shielder. If we had built Kirara I would went against them. And because of this reason we are going against Dendro Chicken. Yes, it has huge Dendro resistance, but it allows us to purely focus on DPS. And Tighnari is a boss killer after all. And we're starting with free to play Tighnari. So Lisa using her burst, YaoYao skill, Fischl skill, Tighnari skill, and immediately burst. First charge shot, second, third. Chicken getting angry, but it will fall after this. So Fischl, YaoYao's burst, recovering and with Lisa. Alright. So, using Lisa's burst, YaoYao skill, Fischl please, Fischl skill, Tighnari skill, Tighnari's burst. First charge shot, second, third, and half of HP is gone. We're going pretty fast. So Fischl, YaoYao skill, and we need to recover energy with Lisa. Please. Alright. Lisa using burst, Tighnari skill, Tighnari's burst, first charge shot, second, third, we need to reset, time is running out. Alright, please. So Lisa's turn. So Lisa recovering energy, 1 minute mark passed, and we need somehow to finish him. Lisa using burst, alright, YaoYao skill, Fischl's burst, Tighnari skill and burst, will this be enough? Alright, first charge shot, and this is enough, and we're finishing in 75 seconds with free to play Tighnari. And now we're going for the pay to play Tighnari. So starting with Zhongli, Nahida skill, Nahida's burst, Yae Miko placing totems, Tighnari skill and burst, using charge shot, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to Yae Miko, using Yae Miko burst, replacing totems. Alright, Zhongli refreshing shield, Nahida refreshing skill, going to Tighnari, using skill, using burst, first charge shot, second, third, resetting again, Yae Miko replacing totems, Nahida skill, forgetting to use Nahida's burst. Alright, we're going really fast, first charge shot, second, and burst. Is this enough? Yes, this is enough. 43 seconds for pay to play Tighnari. And the difference is huge, 32 seconds. Pay to play are winning by a huge margin right here. And I'm not surprised. And for the conclusion. As we see, Nahida made the biggest difference between free to play and pay to play. So if you are maining Tighnari and don't have Nahida, try to get her. I think she is most broken unit that has ever released by Hoyoverse. And for now, thank you for the watching, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.